Hey guys, I'm drinking that Soylent. I use the powdered mix, right? And I made mine with coffee, with cold brew coffee, and 2 bananas and hot chocolate mix. Really good that way. I have a mostly liquid diet, and I've been doing that for like, I don't know, like a year and a half now. And right now I'm really enjoying the Soylent. And I just thought about it. Like, I never really looked into it and read any reviews about it. Like I said, I've been doing liquids, you know, like juices and soups and Ensure shakes and things like that for, like I said, over a year. And so I tried this stuff and I really liked it, so I just started using it. And then I thought about it like, yeah, I never really did check up on that and read any reviews. So I went online to read some reviews. And the first 2 reviews up there were both bad. And they both... the headlines said about explosive diarrhea and extreme flatulence, right? And I was like, yeah, because I don't have any of those issues with it. In fact, it's great on my system, which is why I do mostly liquids. So I decided to read them, and the first lady, she said she decided to switch to Soylent, nothing but Soylent for a whole week and see how it went, all right? And the second guy, he did the same thing. He did the mix, and the lady did the pre-mixed bottles, right? So the first lady was talking about farting like crazy and having diarrhea every day, right? And the second guy said basically the same thing, and he was also talking about he was craving breads like crazy. He would just smell toast, and it would just make him salivate because he was craving the bread so much. And so I wanted to touch on those 2 reviews. And first of all, the Soylent says on there that it can be used to replace any meal, but should not be used to replace every meal, right? And that goes without saying. Second, like I said, I've been doing this for over a year, you know what I mean? I didn't just suddenly switch to nothing but this. I do eat solid foods. I just eat, the majority of my foods are various liquids, not even just the Soylent. Okay, you can't just switch suddenly from your regular diet and suddenly switch over to nothing but this Soylent shake, especially if you've never even had it before. I mean, everybody should know that. You can't even do that with your dog. You can't even switch foods for your dog. You got to like introduce the new food slowly to the old food, or he's going to have gastrointestinal problems. And you will too, right? That just should go without saying. And second, this other guy craving bread so bad, clearly he had a diet high in carbs and starchy foods beforehand. Now your body becomes habitually hooked on these things, you know what I mean? That everybody knows that too. In fact, I remember when I started switching to mostly liquids, I had the same thing. I was craving breads, and I already knew this, and so I powered through it, and then I gave in a lot too, you know, like every weekend or whatever, eat a lot of bready stuff to you know, relieve that craving. Because your body does form cravings and habitual attachments to breads and starches, right? And so that's to be expected too. So really, I wanted to make this video because if you look at the reviews for these 2 are among the first you're gonna see, and they really will sway your opinion in a bad way about this stuff. I love this stuff. You just got to remember, you can't be extreme about anything, especially your diet, right? You can't just drop your diet and switch to anything new, okay? And so, especially the Soylent powder that I use, it's apparently higher in fiber than the pre-mixed stuff. And so you can imagine it is gonna loosen you up a little bit. And it's also gonna maybe make you farty. I have a lot of food sensitivities, and that's why I've been doing the liquids, and I find personally it sits really well with my system. And I drink the Soylent for breakfast just about every day. Not every day, but just about every day. And I haven't had any issues with it whatsoever. No gastrointestinal issues whatsoever. And I attribute that to the fact that, first of all, I don't do nothing but that all day. Second, I introduced this sort of food to my diet gradually, okay? So if you're thinking about this sort of thing, be very careful about looking at the reviews and make sure these people aren't fanatics. I would say the only reason that you would do something like that, going to nothing but this stuff, was so that you could make a bad review of it. That's what I think, because it doesn't seem like you gave it a fair shake, for lack of a better term, or else you wouldn't have done it in such an extreme fashion. So yeah, Don't write it off. Don't write Soylent off. Yeah, it was made by computer geeks, and they did come up with the name Soylent based on Soylent Green, and it's a soy protein. So yeah, it's a tongue-in-cheek little joke by nerdy people. But I'll tell you what, I love it. It is 100% vegan unless you add stuff to it, and that's another thing. You can add all kinds of stuff to it to add some variety to the diet. So give it a try before you write it off, and be careful about looking at reviews.